Asian shares up after Fed lifts prices to tame inflation. Shanghai Asian shares rose on Thursday, whilst longer-dated U.S. authorities' bond yields fell and the dollar was down from two-decade highs after the U.S. Federal Reserve introduced an competitive charge hike and reduced its growth projections. The U.S. Important Bank on Wednesday accredited its largest hobby charge hike considering 1994, lifting the goal federal price range fee by means of 75 foundation factors to quite a number among 1.5% and 1.75%. Fed officials additionally see further steady rises this year, concentrated on a federal budget price of 3.4% with the aid of year-end. The flow, which had been completely priced in by using markets, followed statistics on Friday showing a sharper than expected upward push in U.S. inflation in May, in addition to a University of Michigan survey showing clients' 5-year inflation expectancies leaping sharply to their highest for the reason that June 2008. In an information convention following the Fed's ultra-modern two-day coverage assembly, Fed Chair Jerome Powell stated that the survey become quite eye-catching. Inflation expectations are beginning to look like they may be too high. That I assume is one cause why Powell desired to do a 75. And I suppose they may additionally move once more in July, stated Joseph Capurso, head of international economics at Commonwealth Bank of Australia (OTC), CMWAY. They were given to get inflation down. They're to this point behind the curve it's now not funny. Investors seem to take consolation from the view that the U.S. economic system will benefit ultimately if fees are brought underneath manage within the brief time period. Fed projections confirmed monetary boom slowing to a below-trend charge of 1.7%, and policymakers assume to reduce interest costs in 2024. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outdoor Japan tracked a higher near on Wall Street, adding 0.40% inside the morning session. Seoul's Kospi added 1.24%, even as Australian shares rose 0.49% and Chinese blue chips added 0.12%. In Tokyo, the Nikkei was up 1.70%. Overnight, the Dow Jones Industrial Average ended the session through jumping 1%. The S&P 500 leapt 1.46%, and the Nasdaq Composite climbed 2.5%. The dollar, which retreated from a 20-year peak after the Fed meeting, regained some footing within the Asian session. It seemed like a traditional case of purchase the hearsay, sell the truth, because the dollar offered off and Wall Street rallied, said Matt Simpson, senior market analyst at Citi Index. But given the trajectory for Fed hikes, we very tons doubt the top is in place for the US dollar. The worldwide dollar index, which tracks the dollar towards a basket of 6 friends, was closing up 0.24% at 105.05 because the greenback jumped nearly 0.6% in opposition to the yen to 134.61. The euro edged down about 0.1% to $1.0434, reflecting expectancies for greater Fed tightening. The yield on U.S. 2-year Treasury notes, that are sensitive to buyers' expectations of Fed fund charges, rose to a few 0.3060% from a close of 3.2790% on Wednesday. The U.S. 10-year yield became lower at 3.3696% from a near of 3.3950%. In commodity markets, oil prices rebounded after falling extra than 2% following the Fed decision. Brent crude became last up 1% to $119.68 in step with barrel, and U.S. crude added 1.1% to $116.58. Gold was slightly lower because the dollar firmed. Spot gold ultimate traded at $1,830.19, down 0.17% at the day. GOL.